In physics, time is considered a dimension in which events unfold in a seemingly continuous sequence from the past to the present to the future. However, this view might not be accurate. Recently, Brian Cox introduced a revolutionary theory about time that might surprise you. Perhaps we live in a continuum where the same events constantly repeat, and we are merely imagining time. Brian Cox is well known in the UK. For decades, he has explained complex scientific and physical concepts in a simple and comprehensible manner, including the concept of gravity. Cox is also deeply interested in the nature of time. Have you thought about time today? Maybe this morning, as you sleepily looked at your alarm clock, you told yourself it couldn't possibly be morning yet, or perhaps you were late catching the subway or you scheduled an appointment for a specific time. However, none of this represents time, at least not in the way physics means it. In physics, the arrow of time describes the unilateral direction or symmetry of time. For us, time seems to flow in a certain direction, from the past to the present to the future. However, this idea of time might just be a mental construct, not a physical reality. It is more likely that time functions completely differently in different parts of the universe, or that it does not exist at all as we conceive it. Albert Einstein proposed that time is relative. It may flow differently for different observers depending on their relative speed and gravity. This implies that time is tied to subjective perception. For example, time may seem to flow differently depending on the activity you are doing or the mood you are in. Einstein also illustrated this idea with a famous example. Put your hand on a hot stove for a minute, and it seems like an hour. Sit with a pretty girl for an hour, and it seems like a minute. That's relativity. Indeed, we do not perceive time as a fixed quantity, but as a sequence of events and a subjective sensation that we live through our daily actions. Time is not a tangible element that we can find in specific places like the bedroom or the kitchen. Clocks are tools that help us measure time, but they are a human invention. Interestingly, no day lasts exactly 24 hours, and no year is exactly 365 days long. We have invented these time units to organize our daily lives, but they do not reflect a physical dimension of time. Furthermore, Einstein's theory of general relativity describes how mass influences space-time, causing phenomena like gravitational time dilation. In a stronger gravitational field, time flows more slowly compared to a weaker gravitational field, as experimentally demonstrated by clocks placed at different heights. This phenomenon is particularly evident in black holes and GPS systems, which must account for time dilation due to gravity differences to provide accurate positioning data. Brian Cox has also discussed the possibility that gravity is not a force but rather a geometric aspect of space-time, a view supported by general relativity. However, the exact nature of gravity remains a mystery, similar to time, and continues to perplex physicists worldwide. Our perception of time and gravity are not just matters of science, but also of deep philosophical and spiritual reflection. Some spiritual traditions, particularly Eastern ones, assert that time is an illusion. In reality, only the present moment exists. The impression of time is created by our subjective judgment of the world around us and our actions within this world. If we were to exclude this aspect, our perception of time would suddenly cease. There would still be phenomena like the ripening of apples on a tree or the aging of our bodies, but even these are seen as effects or optical illusions that allow us to experience this world. Buddhist monks, for example, are known for their ability to slow their breathing and heart rate to levels that, according to the rules of Western medicine, might appear lethal. However, these monks are capable of overcoming the subjective impression of time or even suspending it completely for a few moments. It is also said that some trained monks can bypass the laws of physics, as demonstrated by legends of monks who helped build the Egyptian pyramids through singing and the concentration of will, creating vibrations and forces of consciousness that surpass our conventional understanding of reality. Many people feel that time passes faster as they age. However, researchers have found that this is not true. As we age, our brain is no longer as open and perceptive as that of children. Over time, fixed pathways form in the brain, and researchers have discovered that the brain may simply block the different time units of activities, giving the impression that time is lost. Of course, the body ages, but perhaps we could control and prolong these processes by consciously managing time. These reflections lead us to consider time not only as a physical measure but also as a complex phenomenon that interacts with our consciousness and perception. The way we live, think, and interact with the environment can have a profound impact on our experience of time. As we continue to explore these concepts in physics and philosophy, we may begin to see time in a completely new light, perhaps as a malleable element that can be shaped and understood in ways we never imagined before. Subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to stay updated on further explorations of these mysteries and how they might transform our understanding of the universe and ourselves.